Hi folks, I have finally gotten around to doing a deep refactor validation of the entire symptoms to bacteria approach. The earlier version was a bit ad hoc, did essential things, but failed to do some other things which I was wanting it to do. And the main problem was it was slow, especially as more sample came in, because the number of data points to be computed just kept exploding, almost as bad as COVID-19 explodes. So we are on the site. You log in, or if you have already logged in, you go to samples, and you will see we have enter symptoms. If you haven't entered symptoms for a particular sample, please remember to do so. Probable symptoms, and then bacteria symptom explorer. Probable symptoms will actually has links to take you over to the explorer. So let's just enter here, and we click that, and a few seconds later we see the characteristics. We'll see we have 51 items here, and if I click here, I can say, okay, here is one of the things which we have, where we have 17 bacteria involved, 15 of which we are a precise match. Our predicted value is a 0.98. And what we now do is we take a look at, and this is a pair of symptoms. The old way only looked at individual symptoms. We are now able to look at compound symptoms. If you want to have more items, you drop the significance level down and you will get more items in the list. We already have a good number, so I'm not going to bother doing it, but you can go and reduce that to whatever level you want. And the lower the number, the more probable symptoms will hopefully be extracted. But for example, let's go over and take a look at this particular combination. If I click on it, it will take me over, and you see the two things are selected. We can actually go and select other things. The first one here determines the first symptoms followed by second symptoms, and now we take a look down and we see each one of the bacteria, see what our value is, and your count 8012, high values over 460. In other words, 75% of people have 760 or less, and we are way up there. And we just go down the list. One item where we don't have a match is we have Akkermansia, and we actually low Akkermansia is a characteristic of the symptoms. Here's another one, bifidobacteria. We have high, and again low are the characteristic of the symptoms. Now, these are all the matches. Some of these may be very significant for developing symptoms. We don't know. All we know is that these bacteria tend to show up, and we have two there which are not matches. So we may or may not have the actual symptoms, but for the moment, let's suppose we want to dig a bit deeper. We have a drill deeper button here. Makes life easy. It takes you back to the old form of Symptom Explorer, which was slow, sluggish, and not as elegant as I would like. I'll click drill deeper. It'll go over and we'll actually do a recalculation of all of the bacteria which was examined. Hence, it will take a little while for it to get the results back. And we have, you see the two items we have here, and what we have is what we find. These are the strong relationship. There's a bunch of weak ones. And if you want to know particulars about it, like for example here we have one particular one, and you can see how many of all samples of people who have this bacteria are distributed. You see that we have half of them are in the high range, which is why it became so significant. In theory, we should have equal numbers in all four of those. If there was no association, what we do have is a major shift for this particular combination of symptoms. The match down below, same as on the prior page. And what we can now do is go and either look for something else or toss in something, like for example ultrasound irregular heartbeat. We apply the choices. It now goes and does recomputation of everything. Again, this is a slow process, which is why I ended up doing a rework. And once it has done it, if it finds something significant, it was actually added to the set of symptoms to match. So it's sort of, as people drill down, the amount of patterns will keep going up, and we are churning and churning still. There's no easy way around it. There's a lot of computations that are done every time. And we just wait. That's one reason I ended up going to the two-stage approach. And here we have all the things, and we actually see we have a longer list there, and down the bottom we have more items, but we have less ones which are matches. So as we build up the depth of symptoms, compounded and uncompounded, when we have enough data, we will get more bacteria associated with or less bacteria. It all depends on overlap and isolation of bacteria to symptoms. So that's basically it. Let's take it again from the start. Let's go back to samples, and I'll go and pick a totally different day. Let's suppose I'll do November 11, 19. I hit probable symptoms, and it takes my data, looks at all the existing patterns, which are almost 6,000 patterns at the moment, and each of those 6,000 patterns may have from 1 to 50 bacteria associated with it, and we have 31 and we have the combination. Again, we have age, and which age happens to be right. So let's take a look at medication sensitivities. Click that, and we have all the matches. And if we want to drill deeper, again, we just select drill deeper. And we again wait and wait for the thing to finish. I'm going to just, it finished that time. And there we are, and something. Okay, minor bug, but it will give you an idea. So I'll apply that.